Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another episode of Sports Women's Wednesday. Here with your boy Mossberg. I'm your host this evening, and I'm here with one of the guys, all the way from South Bend, and we've been blessed to have him since not just tuning in the first episode, but now to have him on our show, to have his own show, Post Game Sports. How you doing this evening? It's glad to have you. How's you doing this evening as well, Post?
Man, I'm so blessed, man, and I'm thankful for y'all, and I'm thankful to be on with you today to talk about women's basketball. I enjoy women's basketball to the T. If you know anything about my channel, I drop a lot of women's sports content, especially Notre Dame and Hannah Hidalgo. So let's get it. How you doing tonight, Moss?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. Can't complain, man. Just so many things been just going on. Things that me and you talk about, me and the guys talk about. We also last week we on Spotify the last couple of weeks. WTP Sports Dudes 2006. And then we are back on Patreon as well. We appreciate you, Derpy 5501 First. Welcome back to Unk Show. We appreciate you tuning in as well, man. Great to have you this evening. And we're going to dive in to some of this women's NCAA March Madness bracket breakdown. We're going with the live predictions. So for us this evening, if you got any comments, any thoughts about any team that you feel could not just be a Cinderella, could win it all, anything you want to talk about this evening here with Mossberg, with Post Game, Level Up Sports Dudes, Post Game 86, and we are appreciated to be brought here with the likes and the doings of our WTP Sports Dudes. Without him, nothing would be possible. So we're gonna start off tonight giving you a view of the bracket. If you could, can you blow it up possibly a little bit, or is that the so far biggest we could get? Because right now we just gonna take a look at most of the number one seeds, and we got, I don't know, for me, what was your thoughts on the number one overall seeds? You had UConn, UCLA, Texas, South Carolina. What were your thoughts on those four number one seeds before we get into the breakdown?
I mean, money. I thought those were the top four teams in the country. So they were well deserving of getting that number one seed when you talk about UCLA and UConn and South Carolina and Texas. Those, to me, Moss, are the four strongest teams that have the best chance of winning everything, winning the whole tournament. So I'm feeling the number one seed, dog. How about you?
I agree, man. We can't negate what not neither one of these teams has done this season. UCLA, nobody's really talked about them, and they just constantly putting in work. Lauren Betts is coming back. They was just in the Final Four for the first time last year, in school history. And some think they can not just run it back, but actually win as well this year. Returning Betts and returning some of those other superstars, the point guard. She's a dynamic point guard as well. But that UCLA team is just as good as they are, been under the radar. And then you got this Texas team. We know what Madison Booker is to college basketball, not just Texas. When you talk about a player like Kevin Durant in the NBA, you can talk about Madison Booker in college basketball the same way, respectively, on the women's side. And then you have Don Staley and the South Carolina squad. We know what the capabilities are. We know what dynasty she has come to build at South Carolina, and we know it's cream of the crop. And this is the time when she gets out and she does her best when it comes to coaching South Carolina could put on a show, as well as UConn, undefeated throughout the season. Very possible that they could go through another undefeated season. And it has been a while since we've seen that. So we all for the glory and everything that's coming to show. But the first game we have, number one overall seed, is UConn, and they're going against, I believe, Texas University of Texas San Antonio in that
Yep.
first game. And I think we both know, the outcome with this one having UConn as that number one overall seed. What's your thoughts?
Man, this is the old fashioned beatdown. I got UConn in this game, bro. There isn't much to be said on this one. Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd, their legendary head coach, UConn is the surefire victory in the first round.
I agree. I totally agree. Then the next game we got Iowa State versus Syracuse. If you want, you could. I'm good now. I can see it pretty good, so we going pretty good now. We got Iowa State Syracuse. I think when the 8-9 matchups on the women's side is a lot more, exciting than the men's side this year. The 8-9 matchup being that Iowa State and Syracuse. I'm gonna go with the 9 seed in Syracuse this year. Shout out to both teams being in the tournament, as we also are seeing on the men's and women's side this year. A lot of them both being in the tournament at a major capacity, which I think is great for basketball. That shows how good the portal has been, also, but just how good your university is. And we're talking about students before they are athletes as well. So, what's your thoughts on this game?
Man, a lot of people are picking Syracuse, bro. I was a little shocked to hear you going with Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse is not a bad pick, but
Yeah,
I think Audie Crooks gonna do some work, bro. I don't know.
I just nothing against her. Like I think she's special, and I've watched her story. Shout out to Artie Crooks. The relationship you have with your pops is one to none. A lot of people don't understand a lot of things when it comes to who you are and what you represent, and the person that you are. And I've looked more into her story. I've been reading some things, and nothing against Audie Crooks. But post you, I'm going Iowa State, Audie, and we ain't even gonna get no speeding ticket. You just gonna hold it down in the low post with no mid post or no high post. It's not post game. It's Audie Crooks, Iowa State. They gonna get the dub, and I'm gonna take these Cyclones to get a big victory. And I think Audie Crooks puts them not just on her back. I think she begins her March Madness one shiny moment in a different way.
Yeah,
The next,
that sound a little better. That sound a little better to me. I mean, I think Syracuse is solid,
yeah,
but I just think Audie they don't have no answer for Audie in the first round.
yeah, I agree. I agree. What's going on, SEC Sean? We appreciate you joining in the comments, and make sure you go check out that Sin City review we had about an hour and a half ago throughout the networks. SEC Sean did a great job on that review, as well as we get ready for this weekend's national race and event, and it will be something special as well. And the next one, I think is one of the most underrated 5-12 matchups that we have on a men's and women's side, but definitely on the women's side. This Maryland versus Murray State. This is going to be a good one. You're talking about a Brenda Freeze. She's 20-1. She doesn't lose home openers in the NCAA tournament. You know what she's done for Maryland. We know who she is. She's becoming that iconic figure in college basketball. You don't just go 20-1 at home openers in March Madness, and you're not something. You're not just a coach. You're an iconic figure. To me, that's what Brenda is to college basketball on the women's side and college basketball itself. And this Murray State team, They're not some team that's just going to come in and lay down. Most wins in program history, they're coming in 31-3. With that, I thought of John Morant. Are they coming in with that type of swagger into this March Madness tournament on the women's side?
Right.
Because that time when Ja was doing this thing with Murray State, the women's wasn't in the tournament on the other side.
Right.
Could it possibly happen against Brenda and this great home opening record she got with this hungry Murray State team, and they're tied for the most all time in the MVC era? Well, so you know, this was a tough pick for me. I want your take first before I actually make my decision, because this was one of the toughest games for me to actually pick. This Maryland versus Murray State. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I think the type of year Murray State had should be saluted, but I'm going with Maryland all the way. I think they're one of the sleeper teams in the women's bracket this season. I can see them making a little noise. I don't think their season ends against Murray State in the first round. What say you, bro?
Yeah, I agree with you. I was wondering the same thing, but I think Brenda has her terrapins at the right dinner table in DC, ready to make a run in this March Madness tournament. I think at the 5 seed, this was one team I think could have easily been a 4 seed, possibly a 3 seed, with a couple games going their way. So you're talking about a Brenda team, coaching this Maryland team that's won a national championship, has been to the Elite Eight, has been to the Sweet 16. I mean, you name it, she's been there, she's done it. Conference champion. I think this is her year. She could possibly bring these Terrapins into the Final Four and knock off one of these number one seeds if they make it that far. So I'm going with Brenda, and I'm going to continue that streak with her being almost perfect in those home openers in March Madness. I'm taking the Terrapins as well. Now, this next one, Post, this was people going to be mad at me. You got North Carolina Tar Heels versus Western Illinois. I'll be looking up my facts, trying to figure some things out. We talk about freshmen all year. Shout out to the ladies, man. We appreciate what you've been doing with the game of basketball, especially you freshman women. Mia Nicastro, OVC Player of the Year, fourth in D1 points per game, 24.2 that is. I'm taking Western Illinois and Maya, not more, Nicastro over the Tar Heels at a 13-4 upset to get this madness going in the women's NCAA tournament. What's your thoughts? I'm going Western Illinois and Maya.
I rock with it, bro. I'm not heavy on North Carolina this season. I think I'm a little knowing the ACC like I do. I like Duke a lot better this year. I like Notre Dame a lot better. I don't think North Carolina is going to do much in this tournament, so I can definitely see them getting upset early against Western Illinois. That's a good upset pick, bro.
Yeah, you know my whole thing is when you speak about players that score, and you top in Division 1, where everybody knows the cream of the crop. But regardless of what school you from, when you in Division 1 and you putting up this type of performance, I kind of had thoughts of, I mean, even though we're talking about women, I had thoughts of Jimmer Fredette. No one knew who he was. He was just putting up points. And he did what he did, leading his team. So who says it's not possible for Maya to take this Western Illinois team up against this Tar Heels blue blood team? And we know what North Carolina's done on the women's side. They've marched to the Final Four, won national championships, and they've done some dynamic things. But I think this Western Illinois team is in this tournament. Maya Castro, she's going to make a name for herself. in the college basketball world will know who she is. The next game we have, I know you've been waiting on this one. I know you've been waiting on this one. I'm going ND over Fairfield, and I'm gonna go 10 steals for Double H and a tourney opening game triple double.
You
What's
got
your
to
thoughts on
10,
Notre Dame
10 robberies, bro.
Fairfield? She ain't robbing the bank. She robbing the Brinks truck. She robbing the armored truck. She in this March Madness tournament for a reason. Just think, it's been a while since she got a double-digit steals game. Why not solidify it in the opening round and put some talks in for that player of the year candidate even more? So I'm going with that for Hedana and your Notre Dame Fighting Irish to start this tournament with a win.
I believe Fairfield, if I'm not mistaken, leads the nation in 3-pointers. So this will definitely be a tough matchup for the Irish. But I think the deciding factor, if there's one woman who can go on a magical run this year and lead her team far into the tournament, it's Hannah Hidalgo, man. Um, I've been saying this for months. She affects the game on both sides of the ball. Third leading scorer in the country, number one in steals for a 5'6" guard. I think she averages 5 or 6 rebounds per game. Of course,
Yeah.
she's gonna average some dimes, but if there, I'm gonna say this again to the people: if there is one woman who can go on a magical run in this here tournament, it's Hannah Hidalgo, and that's because of her ability to affect the game both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. And if her shooters show up, Vanessa De Jesus and others, if they show up and they knocking down threes, you can forget it. I
Yeah.
like this Irish team, and they've won. I think they're 9-2 in their last 11 games. I really like this team, Moss.
And they're playing very, very well. And I think I agree in what you said as well. When you talk about a player to come in March Madness, the smile, the poise, the strength, the fun that she's having when she's on the court. I mean, one shiny moment, Hannah Hidalgo, Notre Dame, running around doing what they do. Why not us? I think about a lot, so many things, when it comes to. So why not? And that sets up the possibilities. But I think that will be a matchup. In this next round, you got Ohio State versus Howard. I'm taking OSU, Jelani Cambridge, 1-0, who leads the Big Ten in scoring over the Howard Bison to set up that Hannah Hidalgo versus Cambridge. I wish we had one take Zay here because he would be all over that. But I'm definitely taking Ohio State over them in this next matchup. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I got Ohio State. Ohio State is quietly one of the better teams in the country, in my opinion. Jelani Cambridge and Hannah Hidalgo in the second round is going to be absolute fireworks, and I can't wait to see it.
Man, talking about a July 4th meeting before it even come. That's what you want to see. You might as well try to go visit Phantom Fireworks and get you some because you're gonna need them for this matchup because it'll be definitely worth it. The next matchup I think is a good one as well. I think both of these teams could possibly, make it to the Sweet 16 in Illinois versus Colorado. And again, we talk about great freshmen. It's a freshman out of Illinois with 12 double doubles and a freshman record for Illinois and Kara Harchman. What's your thoughts on this game? I'm going with her with those 12 double doubles and being that centerfold for the Illini and this big win over Colorado. It was a tough pick, but I went with the Fighting Illini in this win.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the pick. I honestly think this game is going to be close and could go either way, but I'm going to give a slight edge towards the Fighting Illini of Illinois. I'm with you on this, bro.
Yeah, it was tough, but yeah, slight advantage. I agree. You got Vandy at High Point, being the next game. Uh, for me, of course, I think Vandy is 36 and a half. That's the spread in this one. It's just crazy. I was looking at that and I'm like, wow. Shout out to High Point. Been a great season. Also, Lauren Olson. Shout out to what you've been doing. Freshman of the year in that WAC 15.1 a game over there. So shout out to what you're doing. 27-5. Sorry about that. It's been a mistake on there. 27-5, the most wins since 79, 78, 78, 79, and it was 33 wins that season. But I got Vandy in a clean warm up game to just keep themselves tuned up. I think this is just going to be a tournament where you got to stay ready. You can't take anybody lightly, and if it's there to take it, you got to take it, get it out the way.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I like this Vandy team. I think Michaela Blake's is a strong candidate for Player of the Year. I was liking her last year, man. She let me down in the brackets last year, but I think they got a better chance to do some damage in the tournament. I really am a big fan of Michaela Blake's, one of the better scorers in the nation. And again, she has a strong chance to win Player of the Year.
Yeah, and we've mentioned quite a few players of the years. Appreciate you tuning in. One take, Zay. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the High Point men and women, both making the tourney. Appreciate that one take. I'm glad you put that in there. It's and said before, man, we got so many that's in this tournament on both sides, man. Like I think this is just made for college basketball. You got to be on a college campus. You got to be tuned in at some, not even a sports bar with your family. Getting that mental breakdown of life. Watching some college basketball, March Madness. This is what you do at this time of the season. And make sure you go check out Mickey D's and get some of that coffee as well, because you're gonna need it for all these games that's gonna be on. Because I'm definitely having mine for sure. But I definitely got Vandy, and like you said, Michaela Blake's, she's special. I think the WNBA is drooling. Can't wait to have some of these greats that they see it on the college level bless and grace the NBA. And real quick, shout out to the women. Shout out to the women. The CBA has reached an agreement. The women, you are due for the bread, for the cheese, as post game call it. It's just good to see that finally happen, for the women. Um, my sisters, my nieces play sports. I got a niece that's playing sports now in college. So shout out to all the women across the world that's playing sports. Your time is due. Your payment is due. And shout out to Asia Wilson being the first WNBA female to get that super max millies in the pocket. So just shout out to that, man. I know it's been a long time coming. Anything you got to say on that post game?
No, it's a beautiful thing to see these women, get a deal done and get the kind of money that they deserve. Probably think they deserve more, but it's a start. Um, 600K, I think will be the average salary. I think 400 would be on the low end, and then to have the salary cap go up to 7 mil. I think it's a beautiful thing for the ladies, man, and I'm happy for them. And I'm excited. I think the WNBA is really about to start cooking.
Man, it's going to be, I don't know if they're going to be cooking gumbo, but whatever it's going to be, it's going to be real good. We want to go down to the Sacramento region, South Carolina, and that game is to be determined with them having that play-in game. We do have a couple play-in games that's going on tonight currently. I haven't checked the scores of those games, but me, respectively, I'm taking South Carolina. Don't matter who they play in this first round. You do not test down in March Madness. I think everyone should know that by now. Since she's come to South Carolina, she's not just been a coach. She's been a mom. just an icon. You know, a lot of these women have just been that since they've come to this scene in college basketball as they continue to trailblaze. So I'm taking South Carolina regardless of who they play in that first round.
Yeah, facts, man. There's nothing to see here.
Nothing at all. Clemson, USC. Another 8-9 matchup I think is going to be pretty good, but I'm going with 9. I'm going with USC. I like that freshman that they have. I really like what she does. I'm looking for her to possibly be what everybody is looking to see from USC in March Madness. It's not going to be Juju, but you're going to get a little dose from this sensational freshman at USC. If you haven't seen her, just watch. She's special. She's averaging about 17, 18 a game, leading that conference over there as well, the Big Ten when it comes to freshmen. So definitely check her out. I'm not going to say her name. I said it last week, so that's going to make me have you tune in to USC versus Clemson. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, bro. I actually like Clemson in this. I like what Jazzy Davison is doing, but I just think, man, they lost a lot of games down the stretch, man. I think it's going to be exciting for Jazzy Davison and Juju Watkins to play together next season. But in my opinion, bro, USC is one and done.
Run it down. Okay. The next one we got Michigan State, Colorado State. Another 5-12 matchup. I think, for some, it's a tough pick. I'm going with Michigan State. Shout out to the Sparties on both sides. Being where you at in this tournament as well, highly ranked, and both looking to do something amazing as well. Another 5 seed in this tournament that can cause problems for a lot of teams. I'm going Michigan State. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I gotta go Michigan State. Shout out to the hometown hero, Rashonda Jones, AKA the Spider from my alma mater, Washington High School. I ran into her last summer. I told her she should have went to Notre Dame, but I can't pick against the hometown hero, so I'm going with Sparty in this one.
Yes, sir, man. If she is tuning in, Post, make sure we get that sit down. If you see this, make sure you chop it in with Post. We would love to have you on and have a special episode cooking up for you as well, anytime, whenever you're ready. The
I'm on.
next game,
I'm on.
definitely. The next one we got Oklahoma, Idaho. I like Chavez. Simple said and done for me. I'm going with the Sooners. No potatoes for me.
Yeah, it's nothing to see here, man. Big Bears, Chavez. I think they're gonna do damage in this here tournament, bro.
For sure, for sure. Next, we got Washington, South Dakota State. I think this is a very interesting 6-11. One thing interesting about this is Washington's first appearance in the tournament since Kelsey Plum's senior season. That shows, and she's been in the WNBA. She's won a couple championships. I think she'll be in attendance possibly. You never know. Um, I'm gonna go with Washington. I South Dakota State can get this win. Don't think they can't, but I'm gonna go Washington. I think they're a little hungry. I think coming into the tournament for the first time in so many years, you won't just be excited. You'll want to make your step and want to get back and be there again. So I'm going Washington over South Dakota State.
Yeah, I'm with it.
First 20-win season as well since Kelsey Plum, not tournament appearance. That first 20-win season. I do apologize. The next one we got is the TCU game and a player that I've been waiting to see, Olivia Miles, see what she's going to do and grace us with in this tournament. Going up against UC San Diego, favored by 34. Another big game another not big game, another big spread in a game that I'm looking at and seeing. I'm going TCU, easy pick for me.
Yeah, just let me say that if there's anybody watching who hasn't saw Olivia Miles play basketball yet, This is a perfect opportunity. In my opinion, she's the best pure point guard in the country. She'll be a top three overall pick in this year's WNBA draft. Her court vision is impeccable. It's a thing of beauty. Her ball handling skills, her step back three pointer. She's been working on her 3-point shot. She's been draining, making them taste it this year from three. So I like Olivia Miles a lot. If you're a fan of pure point guard play, trust me, you'll enjoy watching her play.
Definitely. Next one, we got Georgia, and this is another one of them playing games. I forget which teams for this one. And this is a more interesting playing game with that 10 seed. Forget what teams they have playing. I'm gonna still go with Georgia at the 7 seed. I'm gonna take Georgia um, for this one. Not really seeing much of a big spread. I know they haven't figured out determine the opponent, but I'm gonna go Georgia. Battle tested, and just looking at the matchups for the next brings more of a matchup against the next team and bring against this team in that next round being Iowa, of course, that I'll pick. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. I'll take Georgia. It doesn't matter who comes out of that playing game. I'll take Georgia.
Then we got Iowa, Florida, FDU. Iowa versus FDU. Another big point spread. Iowa 31 and a half. I'm going with Iowa. And I was actually watching the COVID Iowa championship game when they played UConn. I was wondering if this Iowa team is as good as that team. You know, there's going to be a lot of people at my throat about this. You know why? Because they had Caitlin Clark on that championship team. So this Iowa team is a 2 seed. I really wonder how good this Iowa team is, Post. I'm taking this Iowa team, and this is a team that I think at the 2 seed is dangerous. That's one thing I will say. I think Iowa's a dangerous team at this 2 seed because they could watch their way to where they need to get to, where other teams could get knocked off, and the road is right there in their favor. So I'm gonna go with Iowa in this one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with the Iowa victory. I think this is a well balanced team. I don't think this team is as good as those Caitlin Clark teams. Those Caitlin Clark teams have some ballers. Everybody just overlook it because they had Caitlin Clark and she was so electric and she was knocking down threes from the stands. So, but I think this Iowa team is good and they definitely can make a run.
The next one, going down to that next bracket, that next Sacramento bracket, Regional Two, got UCLA in another big blowout, big 51.5 spread. UConn so far with the 54.5 and a half spread is the biggest. This one being the second biggest, second largest, 51.5. Of course, I'm going UCLA over Cal Baptist. Shout out to Cal Baptist being in this NCAA tournament, and I believe that's on the men's and women's side. I believe. I'm not for sure, but I'm close to believing it may be on both. But definitely, shout out to Cal Baptist being in this March Madness tournament, and I just think they in, and then they go home after Lauren Betts. They put a BTA on them that's going to be so good. I just think this UCLA team is very dangerous in this tournament. Final four last year, Betts is coming back. They just been a quiet team. So many quiet wins. I kind of throw that out the window and look at what they've done. Their resume is impeccable this year. They win in games, and it don't matter what you rank when you face them. It's going to be a problem. So I got UCLA for sure.
Yeah, nothing really to talk about here. I mean, I think UCLA can win the whole thing with Lauren Betts, Neekins, Kiki Rice. They got a squad, and the beautiful thing about it is they don't have to rely so heavily on Betts' offensive production. much more balanced team than in the past. I like UCLA as one of the favorites to win it all.
Yeah, I agree. Now, one team I think that could give them a little run for their money for about possibly a half, but depending on if the shots is falling, I think they'll fall in this first game, and they'll kind of take us to that backdoor cut, wide open three, Princeton over Oklahoma State. This is going to be a absolute thriller. I think this is going to be a game you don't want to miss. I think Princeton is dangerous. When you think of Princeton, you think of backdoor cuts. If you haven't watched basketball fundamentally, watch this 8-9 matchup between Princeton and Oklahoma State. I'm going with Princeton. Um, they can shoot the three, very well coached. And when you're talking about a 9 seed that can definitely scare 1 seed in the next round, it would be this Princeton team that could scare someone. But I'm taking them in this game. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's how my bracket shook out. I got Princeton in this game over Oklahoma State.
I mean, I don't know. They just remind me of that team that hit people with backdoor cuts back in the day. Shot the three well when they open, and they not gonna miss. So you definitely got to be there. Then you got the next one is Ole Miss versus Gonzaga. I think in another thriller. You got Cody versus Whitaker down low. You got shooters for both teams. Um, Cody transferred from Ohio State, came to Ole Miss. Um, I've liked her since she was here in Columbus. Watched her as she transferred and been doing her thing at Ole Miss as well. I'm going with Cody and those Ole Miss ladies over Gonzaga. Um, it'll be scary if Gonzaga can hit the three. Whitaker doing what she do. I just think her and Cody gonna have a game against each other. But I'm taking Ole Miss over Gonzaga.
Yeah. I like Mississippi in this game. I don't think they'll have an answer for Cody, man. I really like her game.
Different, man. She's a different breed, man. Like she can handle, she can rebound. Just one of those undersized players. Like when you see her on the court, you're like, man, she undersized and she doing what she do. But I think she's just really that good at what she does. Minnesota, Green Bay, 4-13. I'm going with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. They first time hosting and playing since 2018. So I think they bring that energy in, get them a first round win. And I think that's about it. But they could get them a second round win as well. But I'm gonna go with Minnesota in this first round.
I'll rock with it.
Next game, you got Baylor coming in with the playing game. I'm going Baylor. Very strong tournament team, very well coached. Also, this
Agree.
this playing game could be a game that kind of scare Baylor. If Baylor's not playing well, they could lose. But I'm gonna go Baylor, and I'm gonna trust the coaching and what they're preparing themselves for in this tournament. Duke versus Charleston, another team at the 3 seed in this region. Some people think Duke could win it all. I'm going Duke over Charleston. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, man, I like this Duke team, man. They got physicality, they got shooting. They definitely can make a run in this year tournament. Some people thought they should have been a 2 seed.
Mm-hmm. Coming in on a 17 straight win streak is something electric, and a lot of people didn't even have them winning the ACC. I watched them earlier in the year, and I was just like, wow, that's not the Duke team I'm used to seeing. So it's good to see them where they're at, and I think they can make a run. You got Texas Tech versus Villanova. As much as we've been talking about all-time teams, thinking about this Women's Month, every time I see Texas Tech since I've been watching women's basketball, I think of Cheryl Swoops. Give me the Red Raiders in a win over the Villanova Wildcats. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Tech in this game. I like Tech as well, man. I think you're right on with that pick.
You got LSU in the next round in the next game versus is that High Point that they got to face? Who is that?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I'm looking at it squarely, looking at that one. You got LSU and Jacksonville. I was just thinking about this LSU team, and you know, could they be that LSU team from 2003? Could they be that Tennessee team from '97? Could they be that North Carolina team from '94? That's what I think about when I see this LSU team. If they hit and they playing basketball, they tough to beat. They a tough out for anybody. Um, I got LSU winning this game. I think they're gonna put on a show. I think they're gonna let everybody know they really a team to deal with in this tournament, and we know what Markey does in March.
Yeah, man, you seen Flage, I should say, putting up shots when she found out where LSU was going to be seated in the bracket. She's out there practicing. She hungry. A
Big fun.
hungry LSU team is extremely dangerous.
Yes, yes. Not to mention Lay, as they call her, straight from here, straight out of C bus. And then you got Williams. I think is one of the most gifted small forwards, power forward, center position she plays in college basketball. She's very gifted, being able to step outside, dribble. I mean, she does it all as well. So I'm definitely going with LSU also. Next region we got with this number one Texas team, we got Texas to be determined. Whoever Texas playing the first couple rounds, I'm sorry. Madison Booker is here. Texas win in a major blowout. I like, how I feel about Maddie Book, female version of KD. No disrespect to him, man, but I think this is her tournament where she's gonna come out and she's gonna put on the show. I think she want to do something different than what she did in last year's tournament. I think we was only just seeing a dose of them getting that SEC championship.
Do you know who Madison Booker's best friend is?
Nah, I don't. I ain't checked that. I gotta do a little more reading.
It's Hannah Hidalgo. I
Wow.
hope, I hope Texas wins it all. So
Wow.
Madison feels
Wow.
like she doesn't have anything else to prove, and she transfers to Notre Dame. There's a chance of that happen.
Wow. Listen, now I'm not I'm in a Tennessee Volunteer women's fan my whole life. I've been a Madison Booker fan since she stepped foot on Texas campus. If she transfer, I'm saying it here first. I'm going wherever Maddie Book go. I wanted to become a Texas fan this year, but I ain't want nobody jumping on my back. So I'm saying it here. March Madness, Maddie Book, Mossberg is going wherever you go, whether it's to the NBA or to a different arena for your final college basketball season. I'm following you, and I will be there. Um, Next game we got Oregon versus Virginia Tech, and it's crazy, real quick, that you say that, and I didn't know that because as much as you like Hidalgo, as much as I like Madison Booker, like I could see that happening. Conversations with Mossberg and Post featuring Madison Booker and Hannah Hidalgo. I'm gonna put it in the air. It's gonna happen, man. It's coming to a studio near you. Oregon versus this next team being the Virginia Tech Hokies. Another 8-9 matchup. That's I think going to be a pretty good one. Very close one. It has Oregon 3.5. I'm gonna go with Oregon in this one. In the nail biter this March. Oregon has been there before. That's determined this one for me more so. Oregon being there before, um, that's giving me the slight advantage over Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think this is a pick 'em. Either one of these teams can win, but I get a slight edge to Oregon.
Uh, Next, my bad. The next one we have up is Kentucky James Madison. Another team, a lot of people felt not just made a run, but been playing very good ball, just as Duke has, as Kentucky. And word on the street, they could possibly make a run as well. I'm going Kentucky over James Madison. Um, I think it's going to be a great 5-12 matchup. Um, if you're looking for some fireworks, definitely watch this one. This one will be a great one. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think this is a nothing to see here type game. I got Kentucky all the way.
The next one, you got West V, Miami, Ohio. Shout out to the Miami, Ohio Redhawks on the men's side and women's side getting into this tournament. The state of Ohio is going crazy right now. Dayton is popping with March Madness. You got Miami, Ohio in there. You got so many hometown players and kids from colleges playing here in Dayton as well. So shout out to all you respectively and what you're doing this time of March. I'm going, I want to go upset, but I'm going West Virginia. I'm not messing around. I'm going to go West Virginia over Miami. I just think this is where it stops for the women. Um, I'm gonna feel different about the men's, but I'm definitely going with West Virginia in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I a lot of people like West Virginia a lot. It's a fun team to watch, man. I think you right on with the pick.
It's it's like if that three ball falling for Miami, that's the only. I don't know. I'm going West V. I'm not gonna mess around with it. The next one we got six. We got Alabama and Rhode Island. Um, this is a 6-11. I think that could get kind of dangerous. If Alabama is not playing right, Rhode Island will get. That's the one thing about this. I think they're a team that's come into this tournament very hungry. These ladies have been playing a great season, respectably. You know, I'm always good for upsetting the bracket, and this is going to be my bracket upset. Give me Rhode Island over Alabama.
Wow, I like it, Moss. You're a little more dangerous than me, but I like it.
I ain't no better, so it ain't no money involved in this, man. That's why I like what I do when it comes to it, too. Now, if it's money involved, man, give me. I'm still taking Rhode Island just because I'm me. The next one, we got Louisville and Vermont. Another team, I think um, Louisville could really, make a run in this as well. It's a lot of teams not ranked one or two in that 3, 4, 5, as we've seen on the men's side that could actually make a run. Louisville being one of those teams. I got Louisville over Vermont, and they're favored by 26.5, which is crazy.
Yeah, if not for nothing else, then having Zach Randolph's daughter on the team, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and I seen a video of her earlier. I think this season. She's nice, man. She can go. So, man, Louisville got them something special. If they can't get there this year, I'm gonna say they'd be in the Final Four for sure next year. Bringing back that same team additions. You got North Carolina State, Tennessee next game. They got North Carolina State. This is going to be a banger of a game. My Volunteers until Madison Booker feel what she going to do if she going to stay at Texas or go join her best friend in the Bend at South Bend. I'm going Tennessee. I think that I don't know. It was up and down talks about where we should be placed in the tournament. I think we could have had a better season. Some games we were right there. Some games we should have won. Others we let get away. This is a game we gotta get. We have to win because we could possibly make a run. We go against a tough Michigan team with Olsen next, but I think we could make a run if we can win this game and beat a tough Michigan team. But I'm going Tennessee this first round over NC State in a tough matchup. What's your thoughts?
I like NC State in this game, bro. But I mean, if you rock with Tennessee, you rock with Tennessee. I just think NC State is a little bit better.
No, I like it. I like it. And not to mention, Tennessee has appeared in every March Madness tournament. Crazy, man. That goes to show like what they do year in and year out. Those type of things. Even when you're not winning championships, that shows that you're still building something, special within what you're doing with those young ladies. And man, that's amazing. Like you're gonna be there. The next game we got Michigan versus Holy Cross. I'm going Michigan. Of course, 41.5 is the over. I mean, not the over anyway, but the spread in this one, 41.5 is crazy. I'm definitely going Michigan. Olsen is special. If you haven't seen Olsen, we're not talking about the twins or Mary Kate. It's a special one over at up north in Michigan and Ann Arbor. You got to watch her and tune in versus Holy Cross. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think Michigan definitely is a scary team in this tournament. I've seen them up close and personal. They can really play ball, man. And they're going to be a difficult out for anybody.
We got UConn. What's your how do you because we at the second round. I don't really you got UConn versus whoever, is my opinion. Until UConn get to maybe that game versus Maryland. Notre Dame. I'm taking UConn in the second round against Syracuse. What's your thoughts?
I thought you had Iowa State. You got Syracuse?
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I got UConn versus Iowa State. I'm going UConn.
Yeah, man. They can't. They'll run circles around Audie Crooks at Iowa State, bro.
They're just gonna run, man.
That's it's just that simple. They won't let her sit in the post and dominate and get a 40 burger. Uh, Gino is too intelligent to let Audie destroy their national championship aspirations. I got
Yeah.
UConn too.
The crazy thing, the type of coach he is, if you think about it through the season and if you've watched UConn, you've never seen Sarah Strong and Ozzie Fudd double team a big. Watch us see it in this matchup if it happens. Guarantee he gonna put Sarah Strong and Fudd to double team every time it drops down, and the other three gonna be able to do it. I just think UConn is that skilled this year. A lot of people haven't seen Sarah Strong and her athleticism the way she, plays that defense at the top of the key. She can pretty much guard every position on the floor. So you're dealing with a dynamic player, but I think that's where we'll see those two on the defensive side, whereas we're used to seeing them on that offensive side, pay major dividends for this UConn team and their quest for this undefeated season and possibility of getting to this national championship as well. The next one we have on tap for that round two matchup would be, come on, is Maryland versus Western Illinois. I like Freeze. I think Western Illinois, I think the type of coach she is, of course, she knows it's a freshman, it's March. She knows how to deal with those type of things. I'm going to take Maryland over Western Illinois. I think they get that big win over North Carolina there in March Madness. They come back the following year, possibly get another win, end up in the Sweet 16 after the first two rounds. But I think they find Maryland and they find themselves traveling back home after a great outing against the Tar Heels.
You see it.
You got the one that I think is going to be probably the best game in a bracket. I think probably probably the biggest matchup. You could put that up there with this season. Ohio State, Notre Dame. We know what it is like in football, but this is women's basketball. Hannah Hidalgo versus Jelani Cambridge. Whoo wee! I'm coming to you last on this post, man. This is a good matchup. I will say this. I can't go against Hannah Hidalgo, man. I know Ohio State is in my backyard. They right around the corner. I could walk to them and be there in 10, 12 minutes. I'm going Hannah Hidalgo, man. It's not football. It's basketball. Jelani Cambridge, you're special. I think Hannah Hidalgo is different. I'm going Notre Dame over Ohio State. As I think we talking about a classic, instant classic. They will be having that on throughout March Madness. That's how much of a game that's going to be.
I'm not mad at that. I think I don't think Cambridge and Ohio State has seen the type of pressure, ball pressure that Hannah Hidalgo can apply and really disrupt an offense. I think they're going to witness that firsthand. I like their team. I like Ohio State as a team, like just team top to bottom a little more than Notre Dame. But I just think and the fact that Ohio State is playing essentially a home game, but I just think that Hannah Hidalgo is a huge difference maker, man. They playing their best ball at the right time. I got Notre Dame in the upset, bro.
Yeah. The next one we looking at Illinois versus Vanderbilt. I'm going Vandy. I think Vandy is really that good. They're going to be tough, but I wonder if they get tested enough to Illinois to where some things get seen that could be used in that next matchup, being a Sweet 16 matchup when it gets to that point. So that's one thing that I'm looking forward to. Um, we're gonna stay in that same region in the Fort Worth. Um, we got looks like we have the Yukon versus Maryland matchup. I'm going Yukon. Ain't no ifs or buts about it for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean UConn is just too strong, man. I don't I mean who can beat them? I think that's the question.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people like UCLA, a lot of people like Texas, and so on and so forth. But when you think about it, man, when you really think about it, I think it's going to be tough to beat UConn this season.
yeah, I agree. Of course, the next one I think is back to. I mean, bangers, 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 bangers. This region is pretty tough. You got Vandy versus Notre Dame, a 6-2 matchup. I think will be like a track meet. You talking ball hawks, you talking about all Americans, you talking about two that's going to give you everything that the world haven't seen and some. If you haven't seen players or heard of certain players, this is a game you want to watch. The unknown will be known. The known will step up and be of a problem. And that's Michaela Blakes, of course, and Hannah Hidalgo. I think we'll see them two matched up a couple of times. But I think the energy that Hannah Hidalgo brings, like you said, the pressure that they come with. Um, I like this Notre Dame team, and I think, mark my words, I said I would take them and put them in the Sweet 16. Give me the Elite Eight, Notre Dame over Vandy.
Whoa. I,
Cheerios. I took your girl's post
I'm
over
not mad
Vandy.
at it, Moss. I think if Notre Dame can get past Ohio State, I don't think Vanderbilt is invincible, man. I know Michaela Blakes is one of the best ballers in the nation. I know that she could be player of the year. Vanderbilt is having a really good season, but like I said at the jump, Moss, if there's one team, one player who can carry their team into a deep run, it's Hannah Hidalgo. That's a fact.
Yeah. She reminds me of one band, one sound. Hannah Hidalgo, man. She's the beat of a drum, and she's the beat. She's the heart of Notre Dame. And when you have a player with that skill and that ability, I think it has to not just be respected um, in what she does offensively or defensively. It's what the crowd knows. All of those things. When her name is said in the introductions, it's going crazy. So I think March Madness is in for something special. I'm taking Notre Dame over Vandy. And that brings us to UConn versus Notre Dame. Wow. Love you, Hannah Hidalgo. I'm sorry. I think this where it come to an end, man. I just think this UConn team is tough, man. Um, but do you think they got enough to take out UConn post? That's my question.
No, because and you gotta remember, Moss, Notre Hannah Hidalgo was undefeated against UConn her first 2 years. This is the first year that she lost to UConn. And her first 2 years, she had a better team. But I will say this, bro. If there's one player who could figure it out, it's Hannah. I just think UConn got too much, man. They just got the better squad, man.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna take you, Sarah Strong, Ozzy Fudd, supporting cast that they have, man. Coach, you're doing a hell of a job over there, Gino, with these UConn ladies and the way you grace us in this dynasty in basketball that you've built. So I'm taking UConn, of course. It's no ifs or buts. I just think that one shining moment ends, and why not end against a team that you won, and you got a championship with those elders. I believe in that year, those years, and advanced and done big things. But I think this where it comes to a halt. Um, and we just look forward to the NBA next season, and even more to come after that, which would be the WNBA. I'm sorry. The next bracket we have that Sacramento will be South Carolina versus USC.
Yep.
I'm going South Carolina. I think they're going to be tough in this tournament. I just think they're really that tough. I'm going
Yeah.
South Carolina over USC.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Got Michigan State, Oklahoma.
Banger.
Banger. Like this is it's peanut butter and jelly. Um, I can't think of that lone senior that senior that Michigan State has. She's a bucket getter, but I want to see Chavez in March Madness. That's what I'm looking forward to. Um, I think she's going to not just be a player, but I think she's going to be a great player in this March Madness tournament. I think she kind of puts this Oklahoma team on her back, her and Beers. I think they do something special. Um, Pick and roll, pick and pop, Chavez for 30. Oklahoma win.
Yeah, I mean, Big Reagan Beers, Elias Chavez, that's a good 1-2 punch. Oklahoma has a solid team. They've done a lot of damage this season. I hate to go against the hometown hero, Rashonda Jones, aka the Spider. If you listen to this, we want to get you on the podcast. But I just think Oklahoma got a little bit too much for Michigan State.
I'm about to have to send me her name and everything. I'm gonna have to check her out. I want to pick Michigan State because the connection and the hometown. I just think Oklahoma with that leadership, like you said, with Reagan knowing the stages. I think she want to get this Oklahoma team to that Elite Eight and even further with it being her senior year and having that help with Chavez, that sensational freshman as well. The next one we got Washington TCU. I'm taking Olivia Miles. Um, just official management is what I'm gonna call Olivia Miles. Official management. She don't just manage the game. She run that point guard like no other, as you say. Um, Special talent. I'm seeing more and more why she transferred. It wasn't nothing about it's tough being an athlete, and when things are going a certain way, you get to that next level, and being in these positions as women, it's tough. Um, I'm going TCU in a big win.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I mean, Olivia Miles is gonna be showtime in this tournament.
Then the next one we got Iowa and Georgia. I like this Iowa team, man. They can really play all aspects of the game. If they open beyond the arc, it's almost like they shooting a layup. It's butter. So you definitely got to get a hold of their shooters. If you don't, They're gonna knock it down. I'm taking Iowa over Georgia, but I think it'll be a good game. Big Ten, SEC. I'm still going with Iowa.
Yeah, I think Iowa's strong, man.
Very, very strong. The next game is South Carolina and Oklahoma. The question for me is Reagan gonna come out with a low animosity about this All American list because the super sophomore outlasted her over at South Carolina for that All American on that second team even. So some of this stuff I don't try to compare it to with it being women respectively. But I wonder if some of that stuff, the mojo adds to the game within itself. That's a question for myself. How will Oklahoma fare? How will Chavez fare out? And again, this comes down to coaching. For me, I'm going Staley. I'm going South Carolina. I think she'll be more than ready, as well as myself feeling Edwards is something special
Yeah,
over South Carolina, man. And I think she'll be more than ready. She'll be hungry to prove herself as well in this tournament and make a name for herself even more. Like I said last week, a lot of people don't know who she is. Edwards, I see you. Keep doing your thing. You're commanding that ball and looking real good in South Carolina.
yeah, I'm with it, man. South Carolina just got too much, man.
In the next game, we have TCU versus Iowa, and that is in that Elite Eight. Whew. I think for this one, I don't know if this might be. I think with this game, like point guards, it's going. Who's the better point guard? I'm going Olivia Miles. It's tough.
Ooh,
Being in March Madness is tough, post. But I gotta go Iowa, man. I'm going Big Ten, man. Iowa really this tough. I watched them in that Big Ten tournament. I honestly didn't watch them until then. I think I watched one game of them all year earlier in the season, and I watched them in that Big Ten tournament. I said, "Wow!" Like I thought of them being a team and reminiscing and watching Caitlin Clark's team, but they, like you said, every position they could play basketball. They spread that ball around, and it don't matter who's getting the love on any given night. What works is what keeps Iowa going. So I'm gonna go Iowa over TCU, which is a tough pick. Um, I'm gonna go Iowa over TCU.
yeah, I'm not mad at the pick. I think TCU is a really good team, but I think their run stops when they face Iowa.
Next regional, Sacramento got that UCLA Princeton matchup.
Oh,
Um,
you got to pick between Carolina and Iowa.
oh, hmm, this is probably tougher than the one before. Give me South Carolina. I'm not going. I can't. Don Staley is tough to go against in March, man.
Yeah,
I just think it's really that tough to go against her. She's proven herself. I'm going South Carolina over Iowa, but Iowa can come. Some of the teams that's like Iowa could come back and be a number one seed next year. Some of these teams are returning players, so where they can come back, being where they are this year, be above and beyond that. Iowa is one of those teams, but I'm taking the South Carolina team over Iowa.
so you got two of your Final Four teams tickets punched. You got UConn and South Carolina in the first meeting.
Yep. What's your picks on there?
UCLA and Princeton. Or you
No,
talking the
yeah.
Final
Did you
Four?
your Final Four? Do you got UConn and South Carolina too?
Oh man, I can't go against Fudd and Strong, bro. I
Yeah.
can't.
UConn and South Carolina. It's yeah. I'm going. Shoot, that's easy. I'm going UConn, bro. I ain't messing around with Sarah Strong and Fudd. So the next one we got is that UCLA Princeton matchup. I'm going bets, big bets, of course, over Princeton. Um, and this next one, Minnesota, Ole Miss, just did.
That's a tough matchup to call, man.
Yeah, man, this is. Whew. And I like for me, would the advantage be, in this one with Cody coming from the Big Ten, playing against his team a few times, like, but then playing with a different team. This is not the same Minnesota team he played against last year. So, you know, that's one thing that I definitely think about. I'm going Ole Miss over Minnesota. I just think Cody is different. I don't. I think she's going to give it. She's going to give it a go. I think she came to Ole Miss for this reason to perform in March. I think we're about to see something special out of her as well. I'm going Ole Miss.
Okay, good pick. Duke and Baylor.
And the Duke Blue Devils, the women Dukies.
Yeah, I'm sure Milligram will like that one.
Oh yeah, we should change. Well, I can't change the name. The Dukies, Milligrams, women Dukies. And you got you got Texas Tech and LSU. I'm going LSU. I think Big Foe, Lay, uh, Williams, and Gang. I just think they so much more. And I think they have a point to prove in this March. And the one light skinned young lady that run that point guard, she's special too. It's like she a taller guard, like at the point, and she can handle that rock. Got some strong defense. I like her game too. I'm going LSU over Texas Tech. Then you got UCLA versus
Mississippi.
UCLA over Maryland.
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Yeah, UCLA over Ole Miss. I think this UCLA team, I think they're scary. I think I said that before because Betts, I think she was upset the way she performed last year. I still think she could have put on a much better performance. I think she knows that. I think she came in silently this season, understanding that as well. She got a little sis with her now. So a lot of people haven't paid that no attention. She got her little sis hooping with her, who came in on a scholarship as well. If I got my little bro, we going bananas. It's March Madness.
For sure.
Bets times two, bets squared, bets plus two. They get money in this March Madness tournament. I got them over Ole Miss.
LSU Duke.
I like this LSU team. I like this LSU team. They remind me of a team, as I said, like that 2003 team from LSU, like that 97 Tennessee team, like that 94 NC team. Nobody had a clue, but they played great teams throughout the season. Had a couple tough losses, but felt and showed throughout the season they could be a championship team time and time again. So I'm going LSU over for the win.
All right, UCLA, LSU for a trip to the Final Four, bro.
I think Betts not comes back to the Final Four, but she said I lost by myself, so I'm coming in this year with my little sis, and we trying to get it back. And you know who they would have to face in that Final Four. So I got UCLA.
All right, last bracket, bro. You got Texas and Oregon.
Maddie Buck, Rory Harmon, hook 'em. Texas with a big win. I just think they really that good this year. I think we in for a Final Four to remember.
Kentucky West V.
Give me Kentucky. Um, I think they're really scary in this tournament. Kentucky is a very scary team on the women's side of this tournament. I'm gonna take Kentucky.
Rhode Island and the Louisville.
Give me Louisville.
Tennessee and Michigan.
I won't lie. Michigan is tough. Um, it's gonna come down to Lady Vols knocking down shots. I'm gonna be honest. Michigan is gonna win this game. I think Michigan is really that good on the women's side, as respectably they are on the men's side. Seeing them as a one seed men's, two on the women's, that shows. Olsen has been doing a great job in carrying this Michigan team this season. Shout out to you, Olsen. Keep doing you. I think she takes this team up north and continues to do what she does best. Big wins, Michigan over Tennessee.
Okay. Texas, Kentucky.
Maddie Buck goes for 30 over the Wildcats. Hook 'em.
Louisville, Michigan. 2-3 matchup.
Now this matchup right here, post game, you got to go get Orville Rickenbacker. You got to get you a cup of that Kool-Aid that we used to make back in the day. You got to sit that down because you're gonna have to be fired up because you're gonna be screaming and everything. You have to take a sip, get you a dip of that, get you a handful of the popcorn. Might even have to get a caramel apple and just put the caramel drizzle on it and dip that with the popcorn on top because you're gonna be up all night with this one. I think talking about two teams that I think this year they've both came a long way. No one knew who Olsen really was last year. Myself, I didn't know. Louisville being where they are, being the top three overall seed, I'm going with Olsen. I think Olsen has came in and been a bigger. She's been that like Lindenberg has been on the men's side. Olsen's been out for the women. She's really that good. She's that big of a deal. Olsen and Michigan get the big win. Tough.
Michigan and Texas, bro. Who punching their ticket?
We taking our ticket. We came in from Germantown. That's where it started from. My best friend in the band. But I'm punching my ticket and I'm getting in. Maddie Book and the Longhorns to the Final Four.
Wow. So, all right, your Final Four is UConn. You got all 4 1 seeds making it. You got, which is not a surprise in women's basketball, right? But you got UConn, South Carolina, UCLA, and Texas. You got UConn over South Carolina, UCLA, and Texas. Who wins this game?
This, I swear, this was the one I did not want to pick. When I seen the brackets, I'm like, wow. I'm like, Maddie Book got to go against the Betts sisters. If anybody got to do it, I feel like you about Maddie Book, like you feel about Hannah Hidalgo, to go against the Betts sisters, to go against Lauren Betts, and play the type of game to win. I'm going Texas, man. I really feel that good. I'm a fan of Madison Booker, man. Like if she's on and I have the time to watch Texas, I'm watching her. It's like I'm telling you, man. It's like you really watching Kevin Durant on the women's stage in basketball play basketball. That's the crazy thing to me. Shout out Madison Booker, everything you're doing, man. You changing things dramatically. Coming from Germantown to where you at today, being a representative of that KD, Team KD, Team Nike, the whole nine, man. You breaking barriers, trailblazer. And I'm a trailblaze you, and I'm gonna follow you on to this championship versus UConn. Madison Booker versus Sarah Strong, Azzy Fudd. And that's gonna be tough. Anybody to do it, anybody to play the type of game and to win, it would have to be this Texas team to play the perfect game. I got to take UConn, man. I think this is meant more for the best friends to collide together and be on a revenge tour together. Where will that be? Will it be in South Bend? I don't know. I think that's what makes some turmoil for it to, for them to possibly link up and do something special too. So, I don't know. I just got UConn winning. I think they that tough of a team. But I think Texas can beat them. I think Texas can beat them if Texas can hit shots. Watching them this season, the games they lost, they've just missed a couple shots. And I think Roy Harmon is definitely going to be ready for any challenge in this March Madness tournament. Matty Buck and Roy Harmon play, they hit shots, they could beat a UConn team. But I think UConn is, you have to play that A1 saucy game to beat this UConn team. So I'm going with UConn. I think a lot of people have them, but I'm going to, go against the odds. Give me my Texas Longhorns and Madison Booker, Roy Harmon a game to defeat the odds and go down in college basketball history and take out the UConn Huskies. You heard it here first, post from Mossberg. I'm weird in my picks, man, and I like Madison Booker, so I think she could do it single-handedly, take this Texas squad to the destiny.
There's nothing weird about that, bro. I actually have Texas winning it all in my bracket, bro. So
It's crazy.
I don't think that's a weird pick. I like Booker. I know they're not great at shooting the three ball, but they're a very efficient shooting team. I think they can go on a run and win it all and upset a team like UConn in the national championship.
And it's like Madison. It's like Madison Booker. Her vision to, like, for example, like AJ DeBansa, A Cup Jr. How we talk about them, they look to pass that ball when that double team come. Madison Booker the same way. She see it, she get rid of it, and that extra pass turns into a great shot. So we know those type of things can happen. One other thing before we get up out of here, I have one thing. What's your women's March Madness memory? What memory can you think of when we speaking on women's March Madness that you could think of?
That's simple for me, Mossberg. I got to go with Enrique Agumbawale hitting those big shots and those tournament runs for Notre Dame when they won the national championship. I think you had Mayberry on the team, a couple other NBA or WNBA players, but Enrique Agumbawale was absolutely box office electric those years. And she made big shot, clutch, big shot, clutch, big shot. She hit her, she was so clutch in those runs that she got to meet Kobe Bryant, who was her favorite player.
Yeah,
So definitely it'd be Enrique Agumbawale hitting the game winners in the NCAA tournament to bring a national championship to South Bend.
it's crazy. I would, mine. It was two, but the one I can remember when I was younger, sitting on the couch watching. And this how much I've been tuned in to women's sports. I was locked in to Cheryl Swoops when she was at Texas Tech. The Baby Jordan version of watching a woman play basketball for me, was watching Cheryl Swoops. Best thing ever. I can remember the tan couch I was sitting on back in the day watching her do what she did. So watching her at Texas Tech, Candy Park, Shamika Hoskall, their runs at Tennessee. Those are the things that I really have memories of. And I felt changed my light in the way I looked at women's basketball. I looked at women athletes, understand that women can compete in this sport, just as much as us. And I had sisters, cousins, aunts, that played as well as even my mom. When she was younger, she was in the sport. So just being surrounded by it and understanding it, from a bird's eye view, seeing it was something special. So For all you women, man, that played a part in my life as far as in teaching me something. Mom, I appreciate you. Big sis, little sis, all my kids, all the little ladies that I've taught over the years. I had to take me back into something. I had a 12 or 13-year-old group post. It was girls. The first time I had my class, I seen it. I was like I got all girls. What, like, my head just spent. I'm like, man, what am I to do? I went to my mom. I went everywhere. They said, you got this. And I think that that's one of the reasons why when we chose the day, he said Wednesday, it must have been meant because of it being Women's Wednesday. Um, I had no problem taking it. I seen it was Women's Month. I said this month is every Wednesday is going to be for the women. I think it's only right to appreciate them because trust me, I don't care what nobody says. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. We all know that. It's a scientific fact. It's proven. We know that. But it's just great to be able to come and do what we do. Anything else you got to say before we get out of here?
No, great show tonight. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channels, and we're gonna keep pumping out dope material. So stay tuned.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in as well. As Post said, man. And this Saturday again, we gonna be Lockbourne Road 2040 East Lockbourne Road. We got that KT's Good Eats. It's gonna be popping. Your boy Mossberg gonna be in there cooking it up and all that good stuff. So make sure you come and get your grub. Make sure you tap in with post game. You're gonna have a special edit, I'm sure, for this March Madness for Hannah Hidalgo talk, as well as more things we got coming edits. And I am glad to announce that the man you see in the screen, to the left of me, to the right of me, I don't know which view you seeing, but in my view, he's next to me. He's like a brother. He'll be bringing that part one, just little snippets here and there of my story. We've been talking about it and we're going to put it to work. So we're going to start to bring it to you slowly but surely, man. It's just a process of everything, but I'm glad to announce that we will be bringing some slim talks and including so many more people in these things that we got coming up, as well as conversations coming soon as well. So for those who's tuned in, man, we appreciate you all tuning in this Wednesday. We have another great show coming tomorrow from Post Game. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm just waiting on the text because I know it's going to be fire. I know it's going to be a banger. Stay tuned in to us all. WTP Sports Do, City League TV, One Take Zay, Parlay Poet Blissberg, SEC Sean. You know who I am, Mossberg, Level Up Sports 10, and you see Post Game Sports. And also on Facebook, you got JoJo Moss, you got Level Up Sports 10, you got the WTP Sports group, and you got Level Up Sports 10 on Instagram. Also on Spotify, WTP Sports Dudes, and we on Patreon. So check us out. We appreciate you tuning in. And this evening, we out of here. It was in a building. We out. Peace. Much love, brother.
Much love. Peace, bro.